Hello again. My intention with this video is to prove a point. It is not meant to be a personal attack. And my point that I'm trying to make is that Hollywood is infested with pedophiles. There was one boy I went to school with who went to Hollywood. He was a grade older than me, and he was a very cute kid, and he was smart and very skilled on skates. And all of us girls always wanted to go see him at the skating rink. That was definitely a thing. So he got a role in Disney's The Mighty Ducks. The Mighty Ducks came out in 1992, and this is his 1992-1993 yearbook. I blocked out everyone else's name for privacy. That's him right there. And so that's the last yearbook I have any record of him being in. After The Mighty Ducks, which was a small role, he did have a starring role in a Disney movie called The First Kid. Now I'd like to refer you to a documentary called An Open Secret about pedophilia in Hollywood. And it starts out a little bit slow, and there are certainly a lot of people that are spoken about, and it's kind of hard to keep track, but I do encourage you to watch it. And here's a little piece of it now.
Our own children's pictures were being sold on eBay. Just the regular headshots, not anything salacious, not even anything erotic. We started the process of investigating, and we started to put together a matrix of the photographers and the sellers and who was doing what. We were very disturbed to find that they were really close to us. Convicted sex offender Bob Villard, who was selling pictures on eBay. Bob Villard was a very prominent publicist in the 1980s in Hollywood, and he handled big names like Tobey Maguire and Leonardo DiCaprio. He was very well known as a publicist. Bob Villard was also a photographer. He was one of our biggest eBay sellers. It became obvious to us that Bob Villard was selling candid photos that he had taken. We always knew his photo style because he typically had the kids shirtless, typically took an angle that was from the top down, so that the children are looking up at the camera as they would be looking up at the predator in an abuse situation. Connections between how the kids got hooked in, we started to see the patterns. One of Bob Villard's favorite subjects was Brock Pierce. He was a common snapshot boy being sold by Bob Villard's eBay seller. Brock in the pictures was young, appeared to be 13, 14.
Somehow, Brock ended up living with Mark Collins Rector and Chad Shackley in a mansion.
So it was like Mark, like the husband, Chad would be the female figure of the wife, and I don't know how in a normal context you would fit Brock into that picture, but.
Together, the three of them, Mark, Chad, and Brock, started an internet company called Den, Digital Entertainment Network.
Which again, on the surface, it seems kind of logical that a child actor would grow up and become, use their money that they had made as a child perhaps and open an internet company.
I watched the Den promo reel, and I've got to admit, it was pretty cool looking if you're going for that whole MTV cutting edge graphics type of feel for 2000. It really did the job, but the problem with Den is that it came ahead of its time. Not everyone had the technological capabilities to stream video like is common today. So despite that, I don't know how investors overlooked that. Money just kept on rolling in. Don't let the walls cave in on you.
what you give, that much is true.
Yo, shut up. This is Ice-T. Right now you're watching Den.
Yo, shut up. This is Kitty McWow and you're watching YouTube. Mark Collins Rector threw huge parties to cater to Hollywood people and investors, I guess, were also provided with young boys if that's what they wanted. Maybe that's why they got so much money.
Brock Pierce told me that they were going to a party in Hollywood Hills. There were lots of drugs available and there were many young teenage boys, ages 14, 15 there.
One of the more disturbing programs on Den was called Chad's World, and I will provide a link. And it was filmed on location at the actual mansion where young boys were exploited.
This is the first allegation of sexual abuse that became public. At the time, Den was gearing up for a $75 million initial public offering, which was going to make them all very rich.
After Den dissolved, Brock went on to do more business ventures, and he was actually pretty successful. He did some kind of, I'm not really sure, like mining currency and games. Then in 2011, he attended Jeffrey Epstein's Mindshift conference on his private island. Currently, he's heavily involved in Bitcoin. There was a little bit of a scandal when he joined the board of directors. I guess a couple people left.
Well, hi there, Mr. Clean. Mighty glad to know you. I've got some weekend cleaning jobs. Come in and let me show you. My wife says, Mr. Clean, there's no one who can top you. She's never found a cleaning job that's tough enough to stop you.
I'd already met Mark Collins Rector, Chad Shackley, and Brock Pierce at a graduation that we had for our private school. They gave me a job as an actor at Den in a TV show. Was that good? Was that good?
When Egan was 15, he moved on to the Encino, California M&C Estate following promises of acting opportunities. But once on the estate, he was victimized by the underage sex ring organized by convicted pedophile Mark Collins Rector. Egan described a pattern in which Collins Rector would ply him with drugs and alcohol, then make him available for sex to the rich and powerful men who were in the sex ring.
It's very scary for anybody to point a weapon at you. Nevertheless, if you're a young kid and your boss is pointing a live gun at you, that would be terrifying.
They came home and explained what happened, and I started crying, and I said, "This didn't really happen to you, did it, Mike? Did it happen to you?" And my son got curled up on the floor in a corner and started rocking and saying, "Mommy, I was just a kid. I was just a kid." And they threatened me, and I was just a kid.
I don't know. I mean, I've still never seen any retribution towards those assholes. Never seen a damn thing. I mean, you look at them as they still sit on their pedestals.
Money, money makes the world go round. Money, money make you change your sound. If the price is right, if the price is right. If you want paper, if you want gold and silver, you'll know not later.
Okay, now we're going to take a look at the critically acclaimed, 1996 film starring Sinbad and Brock Pierce called First Kid. How many butt references can you count?
What do you think you're doing? Don't ever touch him that way again.
Well, I wouldn't move. You told me to put him in the dresser.
That is not what I meant, and you know it.
Hey! We just want to know how it feels to be the biggest butt in the world. Because we saw it all over the news the other night.
What are you guys doing out here?
Playing hide and go seek. Right, Luke?
Is that right, Luke?
Come on, tell them what we're doing. Tell them, Luke.
His friend will also be joining us all year.
Look, got you something. No. Stand up and lean over. I want to put it on you. First of all, you got to promise not to tell anybody about what we're doing, okay?
Reggie knows Luke's a pain in the butt. Anyone who's ever met Luke knows that.
Is that right? Am I a pain in the butt?
Yes. You are a pain in the butt. I told you to keep your mouth shut. Eye to tiger. There you go. You take somebody out. Your man. You got your woman.
What are you doing out here?
Well, sir, he was
Walking the
sleepwalking.
dog.
He was sleepwalking the dog. That guy needs some milk. He's gonna chew my butt off. You know what that's like? I'm gonna sit there, my butt's gonna get smaller and smaller and smaller. By the time I stand up, my back's gonna be on my thighs, because I will have no butt.
Gosh, something wrong here.
The whole theme of the movie, A Boy in the White House, caught my attention because I had read a little bit about cowboys being employed at the White House to entertain important people.
And if Washington doesn't have enough to talk about these days, the Washington Times reported today that unidentified White House aides in the Carter, Reagan, and Bush administrations now are being investigated for using the services of a call boy ring. The paper reports that 2 of the male prostitutes were given a late-night tour of the White House last year. The White House press secretary, Marlin Fitzwater, said he knew nothing of this investigation. NBC's Lisa Myers reports her sources in the U.S. Attorney's Office say the investigation is not focusing on prostitution, but on fraud involving the use of credit cards to pay for the call boy services.
I should have spent my summer in Minnesota.
No, we don't want you here.